Hello everyone, I am Sarge and this is Fallout 4 Roguelike, where last time Carl completed his journey and he was successful. And what that means is that our next character, Beatrix the Knight, who we're playing as right now, has a little stash of chems waiting for her here. Inside of his mailbox, the Jet, Medex, Mentat, Psycho and Stimpaks, these are things Carl basically left behind. It was like, got plenty of chems from him, he decided to leave some for the other Wastelanders. So this is a reward that the other few free characters will be getting at the start of their thing. And this mailbox is basically going to serve as a cross-worlds thing. It's going to be the place where rewards are dispensed. So now I've got a whole bunch of drugs and some extra stim packs. Now Beatrix isn't actually going to be using drugs all that much. She doesn't really need them. I mean, I've just checked out her special stats as well. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like, now that it's daytime, she's got 14 strength and 12 endurance. And 9 intelligence as well. She is incredibly strong. But we should probably talk about Beatrix and what our goals and objectives and all of that stuff is. Because for Beatrix, her main goal is to join the Brotherhood of Steel. Which, yeah, kind of makes sense considering her motif and armour and everything about her. She wants to join the Brotherhood and be fully accepted as one of their members. And if that occurs before she dies, then there'll be a whole bunch of energy-based grenades coming to the next players. So, a fairly simple reward, fairly reasonable request, but it is going to take a while and be a bit of a tricky one to complete. And first off, what I actually want to do with Beatrix is improve her power armour. Because right now it's decent and all. There's, like, Brotherhood of Steel 1 T60. But there's no actual proper upgrades to it, which is something we can easily fix by simply scrapping a whole bunch of stuff down in this workshop. So to start off, let's, accept that we're going to be in workshop mode for a little while. And look at this, gears, screw, spring, all of that good stuff. So I am going to start just scrapping down everything I can here in order to try and get a good number of useful items that could help out Beatrix in, look at all of this stuff, help her out in just improving her power armour before she sets off. Because we want to make sure we're as well geared out as we possibly can be before we head off. Alright, I haven't scrapped down everything, but I've scrapped down a whole ton of stuff. So now let's get out of the power armour and go and modify it. If I'll switch into first person, thank you very much. And this is the only times that Beatrix is allowed to leave her power armour is when she wants to modify bits of it. If there's not a bench around, she's not allowed to just get out and wander about as normal. She has to, like, focus on actually being in power armor whenever she can be. And this isn't great. There appears to be, not a lot of stuff we can do straight away. Have we got anything on the legs? Can't do anything on the legs. What about the torso? Okay, we need a lot of everything. So I'm just going to start tagging stuff for search that we might happen to need. And then we'll be on our way. Alright, back in the power armor. And we've actually lost a tiny bit of health. Because for some reason the bug that makes it so that you're over encumbered whilst modifying power armor, it never got patched in Fallout 4. Like, that's something that's stuck with the game forever. But now what I'm going to do is actually head into the back of this place. There's a little area there I want to go to which has some gold which could come in handy. And then we're probably just going to head out and get started on our journey. Here we go, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff in here that is worthwhile getting. Like, there's some Radex there, some cram, some food, some water, empty bottles, which are going to be really great. Those ones are filled with booze, so I'm not actually going to worry about them. Yeah, a bit of early food and some gold. Real good stuff right at the start here that could come in handy. With Carl, I wasn't quite so fussed about looting because he was having a very short little playthrough. But for Beatrix, she's going to be around for a lot longer, so having a bit of early junk is going to come in quite handy. And did I... oh, I almost forgot to loot that. Okay, loot all of that, and perfect, we can head back out. Alrighty, whole bunch of junk stashed there, and now it's time to do a little bit of adventuring, and more than anything, just try and get some more equipment and stuff. Right at the start, that's all Beatrix needs to do, just have enough equipment to make a few modifications to the power armor, just to give us some extra little bonuses right at the very start. We also actually now, thanks to looting the place, we've got a couple of frag grenades, which could come in handy. And I also didn't actually kill anyone, or anything I should say, in Sanctuary, so there definitely still are bugs kicking about, but none of them activated, so I guess live and let live. Now we want to make sure to loot these people here, because yep, a couple of stim packs is going to come in handy, and we'll take the mongrel dog meat. Also see, oh, jump up, there we go, see what we have in here. A .308 rounds attempting to take nads. I don't need caps that desperately. We will be able to get by for now, and I'm a little concerned about carry weight because I'd rather have junk than actually have money, which is a bit weird. Now obviously I'm going to be looting Red Rocket, but ignoring the dog, because that's just how these things go. I will say that the HUD, this is no HUD, but in Power Armour you still get this whole display thing. So if you're ever doing a no HUD playthrough of Fallout 4, going for Power Armour can be a very smart move, because you still get all of the standard readout that it provides you with, which is pretty great at times, because it's like halfway between no HUD and some HUD. It's a nice little balance that I can definitely get behind, because it makes things quite simple while still getting you some extra information. Cool, so loot all of the stuff there. And now, go outside, loot more stuff. Man, so much loot, and yet the dog wants to say hello. We don't have time for that right now. Instead, what we're going to do is head out round back and head down this way. Because obviously, I was about to say power cells, fusion cores are going to be quite a big deal for us. We currently have 4, and the one that's inside of a power armor is at 90%. They go down pretty quickly in this game, so I'm going to need to get as many of them as possible. Fortunately, there's a nice early one down here. So down we go into this little tunnel, and we're waiting for some mole rats to appear, because they are going to pop out, crouching down, partly to stay hidden, partly just to be at a better height for being in the tunnels, because power armor does make you quite big, so if I'm standing up, I kind of feel like I'm about to hit my head. So instead, stay low, and it will all be good. And sweet, this is also going to get us, yeah, more rat meat, which is pretty great, because we do have to worry about food and water and all of that fun stuff. But fortunately, it looks like we might not be in too bad a situation here. So yeah, that was some good loot in there. There is our fusion core, complete with a big old dosage of rads, although with the power armor we can negate most of those, plus a whole bunch of empty bottles and a Nuka-Cola. That's pretty great, all things considered. I believe, which way are we going? Do we need to go this? No, we've been that way, Okay, I'm getting slightly turned around despite it only being a very short little area for us to go to. But yeah, if we head this way as well. Oh no, you're... Okay, I thought it was dead already, and I reloaded. I need to not do that. That was not a smart move on my part. Still, that's that all sorted with, and there's a basic lock here. Well, basically locked safe here, which means we can break into it with those bobby pins we just got, and oh, look at that. That is some decent stuff in there too. This was a good little trip all round, I'd say. Yeah, get us plenty of junk, get us some meat to cook up, all very good things. So, a very easy and fast trip at the start. I am not going to complain about that one bit. And whilst we're out in this section, we might as well just pop over and use our nice precision laser rifle to pick off a couple of bugs. There we go. A few shots, both of them down. All nice and easy. So we got some good stuff going here. Beatrix can really deal with basic enemies without any concern whatsoever. That Brahmin's got an empty paint can on them. That caught me off guard a little bit. Okay, but here we go. Perfect. Antiseptic fiberglass. Yeah. See, getting some good junk already. Plus, where else? Do I want to... I don't think I want to head that way just yet. It's tempting to, but no. I think we're going to sort out our armour, then we'll head into combat with, like, actual proper tough people. just because it's going to be slightly more advantageous for us to know what we're doing before we get involved. And here we've got a toolbox and an ammo box with, hey, fusion cells. Perfect. So that's all of my ammo recompensated straight away. Alright, I've made it all the way back and got a bunch more junk. I'm hoping that there's now going to be enough stuff that I can actually make some proper modifications to the armour. Because it'd be nice to... Nope, nothing on there. To make, like, just a few modifications. That's all I'm after, game. Just a few. Just the odd thing here and there. Okay, I can make something. I can make that model B for extra damage and energy resistance as well as a bit of extra health. Or I can add on blood cleanser I really don't need. I'm still short on some stuff. Yeah, I think maybe just making... Oh, I can make that model C. I can make my head really tough. I think improving the torso might be the best bet for starting off. Just get an improved torso. That way something has been done. I can also make the head model C. Let's do that too. Yep. Let's do that. Couple of improvements there. Power armor is better. That'll do. That's good enough. We've improved the power armor a tiny bit. It's not as much as I would have liked, but it turns out certain junk is really, really rare at the start. And power armor takes a fair bit. So what I'm going to do instead is take a little bit of junk with me and then go from there. Because yeah, there's plenty of stuff here which should be alright to deal with. I'll also make sure to actually drop these and scrap them down to their base components. But once I've got all of this good stuff, it will all be sorted and I'll have nothing to worry about. Alright, I've sorted myself out a little bit now. I actually have a whole bunch of junk that I'm going to be carrying with me. Some of it's bottles to fill up with purified water, other bits are to hopefully modify my power armor somewhere down the line, and I've even got a few gold bars which I will likely sell, because those things are really quite valuable. So I think we're ready to head off as soon as I've done a spot of cooking, because I am going to need food. I'm also a little bit tired, which isn't ideal, but that is something we can handle. And I'm pretty sure there's a radroach about to greet me. So, yeah, let's deal with you, buddy. And you just have radroach meat. So let's reload, and then let's do a spot of cooking, and then actually head off. Alright, we've done our minor upgrades. We've got a bit of food. I've ate, I've drank. I haven't slept, because I've got a rank of adrenaline. But now I think it's time to actually head into combat. And yeah, things are looking interesting, let's say. Yeah, interesting is a good way to go with it. I don't actually need most of this stuff. So instead, let's just try and move up and bop you in the back of the head. Let's get a couple of shots off at you, hit that one. I just destroyed some of the cover because I am in power armor and that just kind of happens. And look at that, exploded that person. We're pretty good in combat. Like, this isn't a huge problem for Beatrix. Like, fights, as long as she's not being overwhelmed and fully focused on, she's not got anything to worry about. So, yeah, that's pretty good. And look at that.
Up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please!
He wants some help. You know what? We may as well head inside and kill some more raiders. There'll also be some loot there, and yeah, I'm definitely going to make a profit in stim packs, so that's not going to be too bad. Plus, like down here, there's a whole bunch more fusion cells, which will come in very handy, and look, even more fusion cells there. That gets me up to almost 400 ammo, so not bad at all. Inside we go, and bop, bop. 2 down, real easy. Like, you do not mess with Beatrix, just look at her. When she comes in to help someone out, you just want to leave. Come on now. This is not at all what you want to do. I'm not sure what happened there, but whatever it wasn't good for him. I think I managed to literally shoot him through a wall. That was somewhat impressive. And one of the main reasons to come in here is to actually get hold of this little fusion core. So let's open up this door nice and easily. And there we go. This means, yep, we get ourselves up to 6 fusion cores, which is good because you may have noticed the little meter down there at the bottom is going down quite quickly. Like, fusion cores run down real fast in this game. I've been avoiding sprinting, I haven't done anything too excessive, I've not been using VATs, but as soon as I start doing any of that stuff, I will lose so much of what I had. So I've got to be really conservative and always be searching for fusion cores, because otherwise things are going to go very badly. And now into the fun little room, where we can set this thing off, and oh, I didn't shoot all the way through. Oh, it did move a little bit though. That's nice to see. There we go. And just hit fire that little bit, much easier. I'm really hoping at some point I'll find a fusion core inside of a box, like an ammo box, because that can happen with Scrounger, and we do have the first rank of Scrounger equipped on Beatrix, so I'm making sure whenever I see an ammo box, I'm making a bit of a dead line to it. Okay, now we've got... I don't actually want to go through that door. Instead, I want to wait for you to go through there, then you'll come through that side. Perfect. Use the little doorways as tactical places to move through. Man, that... One of my favourite things about Fallout 4 is that it actually works somewhat well as a tactical shooter. Like, obviously, it's not designed to be the world's most tactical shooter. It's no Rainbow Six or anything. But it works surprisingly well for a Fallout game. And with all those raiders dead, there's a bit of looting we can do in here. Isn't that nice? And
man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
Maybe?
I'm just passing through.
Nope.
Fair enough. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? And those raiders want us all dead, including you. A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. Now we're 5. First it was the ghouls in Lexington, and now this mess.
It's a cruel world.
You think I don't know that?
Nah,
The things I've seen. The things I've done. Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle. Those raiders proved us wrong. But, well, we do have one idea.
I had a whole fancy plan about fixing up a suit of power armor. And here you are, walking in like some kind of metal miracle. There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school, pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, it's got a minigun, and it seems to be intact. Wearing that armor, you could rip it right off. Then those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig?
I can't. You'll have to find somebody else.
Lady, there is nobody else. Just us. And we're at a dead end. If you won't even try to help, you're condemning these poor people to die.
alright, so they're not too happy with me being like that, but quite frankly, I've already helped them out, and I've got my own stuff to do. You can't spend every single minute of your life dealing with other people's problems. Beatrix has a lot of her own stuff to deal with right now, so they're going to have to wait. What we are going to get, though, is this perception bobblehead, because, yeah, that's going to be pretty good. So Preston left behind, and, oh man, more raiders! Okay, let's deal with these quick, and then we'll head off. We're not sticking around for the full fight here, ideally, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta kill a bunch of raiders. There we go, that's a couple more dead. Let's just reload. There's no doubt more gonna pop up. Yep, I see more heading in that way. Let's just try and kill a few of them. You guys would be kind enough to all die, that'd be lovely. And, oh dear. That's really not good. Hi, Mr. Deathclaw. Okay, let's just get some stuff blowing up. We do not want to deal with that right now. Let's check what we've got as... Okay, so we've got plus 25% damage, which is pretty good. Let's actually put down this frag mine here. Then we'll switch over to Molotovs. Throw one off in the distance. If he wants to come this way, he can try. Oh, I just gained a bunch of XP. But I wouldn't advise you do it, Mr. Deathclaw. I would not advise you do it. Here, let's get inside. and get plenty of fire down there. Because yeah, a Deathclaw is not something we really want to be dealing with right now. Oh, I leveled up instead of... I just want to put on that thing right now, game. Thank you. Although, actually, we've got the level up, which is quite surprising. Cole leveled up like once, I think. We should probably look into using this, because yeah, we could get a Bloody Mess for extra damage. So that, yeah, that's one of our only choices. It's Bloody Mess or Scrounger. It's a Bloody Mess. Let's get another 5% permanent damage going on here. I'm sure that will help out no end. I just got XP. I assume that's for, yeah, not the Deathclaw, but whatever else decided to pop round. And there we go. Dead Deathclaw. And despite saying no to Preston Garvey, I've inadvertently helped him out. Because, yeah, the enemies decided to spawn, so they're dead now. That's what happens when you mess with Beatrix. You just die. It's very simple. And what I want to do now is just check these raiders, see if they've got any stimpaks or good loot on them. And really? You really wanted to fire at me? After I just murdered that Deathclaw and all of your friends, you decided shooting at me was the best move. Well, that's all of... Ooh, Fallon's department store. That's quite nice. That's all of them dealt with. Now we can probably just get on with wandering through the wasteland and looking for somewhere to sleep. Because I'm getting kind of tired. I'm also a little bit parched. So maybe let's have just a bit of water. So we could do with finding somewhere to rest our head. I don't really want to go back to Sanctuary just yet. So instead I'll have a wander, see where we end up. And look at this. We've got ourselves a nice little trader along the way. This will be kind of handy. Yep, and we're just going to do some standard bartering here. There is actually, yeah, I didn't think about it before, but getting my hands on some different bits of junk could come in quite handy. So I'll see if there's any cheap junk which I can get my hands on, and also sell basically whatever I can. Okay, so fusion cores can be bought, but they are exceedingly expensive. Like, I'm currently trading in all of my gold bars, and I cannot afford a fusion core. They are really quite expensive, so I've got to be able to find them just out and about. Alrighty, did a bunch of bartering, got myself a whole bunch more caps, and a decent level more junk. And, ooh, who exactly are you? Little robot chilling over there.
We had a deal.
You know what, it might be worth just dealing with this thing nice and fast. Although, you're somewhat tough. So if you could not do that, that'd be lovely. Let's... There we go, get a nice critical on you, because wow, you're really tough actually. There we go. Okay, so a very tough robot. Robots are worth dealing with, because they'll have the kind of loot I could really do with. Like, there we go, junk, that is well worth it for me, and fusion cells. Admittedly, I spent way more fusion cells killing that thing, but still, not a terrible trade-off, I'd say. That was a decent bit of junk I got there, lots of circuitry. Alright, I've used VATS a couple of times now, which hasn't actually been the smartest move. Because, yeah, it's definitely eating through my fusion core a bit faster than is needed. And there we go, that's another thing dead. So I've got to remind myself not to use VATS whenever I can, because we're almost down to half on this fusion core, and I'm not on episode 2 yet, which isn't ideal. Hopefully... Nope, no fusion cores in there. Hopefully we'll have something we can deal with, though. Who knows? And let's hack into this thing and get through, because Beatrix is fortunately quite good at hacking, so this won't be an issue. Would you look at that, a box of explosives. That's going to come in quite handy, seeing as we managed to use all of the quite substantial supply we got when we first went into combat. And look at this, man, we are getting some good junk. So that's why I pick up fights with robots. They might sometimes be a bit dangerous, but the rewards are really quite good. And, okay, there's just an ash pile that I disintegrated. Let's see if there's a bed in... There's a mattress in here we could sleep on. It's not ideal, but we might have to take it. Because there isn't really anywhere else for us to go right now. So I'm just going to loot this place, secure the perimeter, and then see if it's worth spending the night here, or if I can see somewhere nearby. Oh, and yep, this is why you secure the perimeter, because you never know what's going to be sneaking up on you whilst you sleep. Take your time. There we go. Yeah, some nasty ghouls deciding to show up there. Not ideal, but it does mean some free loot. Because ghouls aren't as smart as I am, and I know to actually check what's going on before I rest my head. And sadly, there doesn't appear to be anywhere else nearby that's particularly safe. What time is it? It's 4:10 AM. Yep, if we just sleep for a couple of hours, rest up, then we'll get started next time, after we've had a rest. We keep our power armor right next to us as we sleep, but that is all for this episode. I do hope you all enjoyed. It's obviously going to be a lot more combat focused with Beatrix. We're going to be joining the Brotherhood, doing some cool stuff. Hopefully it will be a lot of fun. As always, do leave suggestions for improvements on the format in the comments below. Leave a like if you're enjoying, and that is all for now. Thank you for watching. Sarge out.